Hello everybody, you're viewing episode 8 of Cooking Like a Man. Tonight for dinner, we're making a Vietnamese soup called Pho. My name's JD Fentress and welcome to my kitchen. Well, about a week or two ago, I put out a message on Facebook asking my friends to challenge me to make something for them. And I got quite a few responses. But a good friend of mine from high school came up with Pho, which is spelled P-H-O, but it's pronounced F-U-H. And it's a Vietnamese soup, which I have never had in my life. But she is a very knowledgeable person, well-read, knows a lot about food, and I don't know anybody that knows more about wine than she does. She recommended that, and I did a lot of research, and it's a very complicated dish. It looks simple, but it's very complicated. So I thought that would be a good challenge for me, because one thing I like to do is try to take things that are complicated and make them a little more simple. And I think, and there's quite a few recipes out there that are simpler than the authentic pho. But I kind of went along and I read a lot of recipes and watched a lot of videos, and I watched how the masters make it, which could take up to like 12 to 14 hours to make just the stock for the pho. But mine is probably only going to take about 30 minutes. But I think it'll be good. I've given it a lot of thought. So thanks a lot, Kay Mulaski, and let's see how this turns out. One ingredient you're going to have to get is some rice noodles. I ordered these online. It's a big bag, so I'm not going to use near all those, but I like rice noodles, so I'll find some way to use them. Maybe I'll make pho more often if it just turns out good. You're going to need a chicken breast. Since I'm just cooking for two, I just thawed out one skinless, boneless chicken breast. You'll need a lime, some ginger root. A lot of this is condiments, but the ginger root is not. I think the condiments are kind of, just kind of like whatever you like. You can use a condiment, leafy greens, vegetables, and whatnot. I'm going to use some carrots, shredded carrots, some radishes. You'll need some chicken broth, some sea salt. I'm going to use a leek for condiment, cilantro, spinach, and mushrooms for mine. My wife hates mushrooms, so I'm gonna put some mushrooms in mine. You're gonna need some coriander, and all the recipes I saw called for coriander seeds, but I couldn't find them anywhere. You're gonna need some cloves, and it also called for whole cloves, but I happen to have some ground cloves in my cabinet, so that's what I'm using. But I've thought about it a lot, and I think I've got a solution how to get by without using the whole stuff. And yellow sugar, and this is interesting. It tastes really good. I've already tasted it. But I ordered that online also, but it's a Asian sugar, and if you just type yellow sugar in, you'll find it all over online. It was pretty cheap, so I got to have it brought in. You're going to need a couple of stock pots to do it the Cooking Like a Man way. So what I'm going to do here is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to thinly slice this chicken breast and put it in some brine, so it can be brining a little bit while I'm getting everything else cut up and ready to go. And I'll get back with you here in just a little bit and show you what I got going on. And also, I forgot to mention, I'm going to have a jalapeno pepper as one of my condiments. And that is actually a condiment that is in a lot of the authentic recipes that I saw. So I'm not deviating too far from the authentic recipes. Okay, I'll catch you back here in just a second. Hello, I'm back. Well, I went and did me a few things while you guys were gone. First thing I did was I thinly sliced some chicken, that chicken breast. See how thin it is? And right now I'm brining it in a couple of tablespoons of kosher salt with some water. I was concerned that the chicken might be, because I'm going to fast cook this chicken, concerned it might be a little bland if I didn't work on it a little bit, so that's what I'm doing there. I'll get back with you here in a second after I clean my hands after touching that raw chicken. But the other things I went and did while he's gone was I sliced up some leek. Well, this will go in the soup after the as a condiment. And I did the same with some baby spinach leaves, just kind of sliced them up, made them delicate. Some radishes, made them nice and thin. Sliced them with a sharp knife. Got some lime wedges going on here. Okay, I got some ginger root that I peeled and sliced up here. That's gonna be cooked in with the broth. And this is the yellow sugar, but I'll go in with the broth too. And I ringed the jalapeno. That's a condiment. So that's where I'm at right now. And here in just a second, we're gonna start throwing some of this together and I'll get back with you. Hello, I'm back. Well, I've got my pot of broth here on the stove. It's not boiling, but it's steaming right now. And like I said earlier in the last segment, the broth traditionally is very clear. It's a very clean, clear broth, a lot of flavor because there's a lot of preparation that goes into seasoning the broth, but it's also a lot of preparation that goes into keeping it clear. So one of the things that we need to do is cook some ginger in there. But with this soup, you just want the flavor of the ginger without, having chunks of ginger in there. So I thought, I don't have a spice bag that I could put in there. I couldn't find them in my hometown. Nor could I find whole cloves, nor can I find whole coriander seeds, but I have the ground version. So what I'm going to do here is I've got my strainer, and I'm just going to set it down in the mixture there, and let that kind of work as my bag, my spice bag, and keep the ginger out of the actual broth and let it simmer in there for a little while. I'll let it do that for a while until it gets it becomes very aromatic and I can tell that it's happening. Also, because I couldn't find coriander seeds without ordering them online or something like that, I did have some coriander powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put it in there directly, but I'm going to put very little because it's powdered. And because we're going to leave it in there, it's not, with the coriander seeds, we would just do like we're doing the ginger and remove it. This is staying. So how I decided to kind of control how much I put in there, because I want to put a very small amount, I'm just using a small paring knife, and I'm getting a little of the seasoning on the end of the knife, and I'm thinking that's plenty. I'm just going to drop that right in there. I'm going to do the same thing with the clove, and maybe just even a little less clove, because clove is a pretty pungent spice. So right there, that's about all the clove I'm going to put in there. I'm going to let this brew for a little while and get back to it and see how my ginger's doing. And see how it smells. I'll take a little taste test, see what it tastes like. Oh, and also I need to put some sea salt in there. Hang on a second. Yeah, now would be a good time to go ahead and add some sea salt. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of sea salt in there. Just that way it'll dissolve good. Maybe one little pinch in there. There we go. I also have to watch my strainer. This plastic on the strainer should be pretty heat resistant, but I want to make sure I don't melt my handle down in my soup. But the plastic part is not in the liquid, it's just the metal part. Okay, I'll get back with you here in a second and check in and see where we're going. Okay, I believe this chicken is done. It wasn't in there very long. I'm going to fish that chicken out of there, and then I'm going to bring this broth up to Get it as hot as I can, because I want the broth to be super hot when I put it in the bowls, because I want it to, when I put the condiments in there, some of them, like the carrots, I want them to cook a little bit because I don't want them to be too al dente. I want them to tender up a little bit. But I believe this chicken is done. Didn't take very long. It's sliced so thin, and that's hot broth. It cooked really fast. I'm gonna fish that out, and I'll see you here in a little bit. Hello, I'm back. Just occurred to me that one ingredient that I forgot was fish sauce. And I thought I had some in my cupboard, so I didn't buy any. And I'm up there looking around, I can't find fish sauce anywhere. So there you go. It's gonna be fish sauceless pho. But I did find some sesame oil. And I thought, that might be pretty good. So I put a couple of drops of sesame oil in my broth. It's rolling pretty good here now. Super hot. It's about time to add the rice noodles. So I'll go grab it and get back with you here in just a second. Hello, I'm back. Well, I'm gonna add these rice noodles in there. It comes out of the bag in these little bundles like this. There's several little bundles in there. I'm figuring one bundle per bowl would be about right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in that water, blanch them. I'm not sure how long it takes them to cook, not more than 9 or 10 minutes. But I'm gonna keep checking because I don't want them to overcook. As soon as they become pliable and look like they're good to eat, I'm gonna pull them out of there, and then we'll be ready to build up a bowl of pho and see what it tastes like. I can tell you, I tasted this broth, and it's really good. Talk to you later. Bye. Hello, I'm back. These rice noodles just took a couple minutes. And they're about perfect right now. There they are. Okay, you can't see them. There they are. I'm going to drain these, and I don't want to get them overdone because the hot broth will continue to cook them in the bowl too. So these are maybe just a little tiny bit al dente, but not much. They're ready. I'll get back with you here in just a minute. Okay, folks, I'm back. It's time to build some pho. I got everything ready here. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I've got these really nice, deep, kind of crock potty bowls. They'll be really good for pho. Help hold the temperature and be deep, put some noodles in there. So the first thing I wanna do, I'm gonna turn my camera so you can see it a little bit. First thing I'm gonna do is add some noodles to my bowl. I hope my wife likes this. If she doesn't, I'll be taking her to Whataburger tonight. Okay, got a bowl of noodles. We're gonna add broth now. I got my ladle going here. I'm gonna cover these noodles with this. This broth really does taste good. I tried it just a minute ago. I don't know, it may not be authentic pho broth, but it's good. Pretty proud of it. Okay, if you can see that or not, without spilling, I spilled a little bit of it. There it is. I'll show it to you from the top. Get back with you here in a second. I want to show you how to build this. There we go. That's what it looks like right now. Okay, I'm going to throw some chicken in there. Some sliced, thinly sliced chicken. And some spinach. Oops, I gotta get online there. Some spinach. And a few leeks. A couple of radishes. And while you were gone also, I love ginger. So I shaved a little bit of ginger. I wanted to use it as a condiment as well. Let's throw some jalapenos in there. It's hard to do this one-handed and hold the camera, so excuse me for the... I'm gonna throw a little cilantro in there. There it is, throw a little cilantro. I love cilantro. That's kind of I use cilantro in lots of different cultural dishes, so it's kind of a worldwide thing. Let's get some of these carrots going. I'm gonna have to set this phone down just a second, be right with you. Okay, I added a few carrots. Got radishes, leeks, jalapenos. One thing I like is I'm going to put some baby bella. I looked for shiitake mushrooms, but they didn't have any at the grocery store this time. They carry them at my grocery store, but they just didn't have them this time. So I got some baby bellas. Okay, that is my bowl of pho. I'm going to make one for my wife. She doesn't like the same condiments I do, but there it is. I'll let you know how good it is. This is probably the best pho I ever ate since I've never had pho before. And thank you so much, Kay Mulaski. I think we're really going to enjoy this going into the future.